Good morning students. Welcome to our civics class. Today we are going to learn chapter 3 of civics, which is the Union Judiciary. The judiciary is the third and the last body or organ of the central government and the state governments. Its work is to interpret the law of land. It makes sure that the laws in the country are properly followed by everyone, individuals, organizations and government. It punishes the lawbreakers. In doing so, it protects the rights of the citizens, especially the fundamental rights. It safeguards the constitution of our country. It also settles disputes between individuals, organizations and governments. Supreme Court is the apex court of our country. It is located in New Delhi and is functioning since 1950s. Its decisions are binding and applied to the whole country. All law courts are presided over by judges. The Supreme Court consists of the Chief Justice and a number of other judges. It can have maximum of 30 judges. However, this number can be changed by any act passed by the Parliament. The senior-most judge of the apex court is usually appointed as the Chief Justice of India. He is appointed by the President after consulting the other judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts. The other judges are appointed by the President after consulting the Chief Justice. Let's talk about the three types of courts in India. Firstly, we have Supreme Court, then we have High Court, and on the third level we have District Courts. There is a single integrated system of courts in our country for the Indian Union and the states. Moreover, it has a pyramidal structure with Supreme Court at the apex, followed by the High Courts and the subordinate courts in the various states. Another important thing about our judiciary is that it is independent of the legislature and the executive. This means the legislature and the executive wings of the government do not have any control over the judiciary. Due to this, they cannot influence the decisions or the judgments of the judiciary. The Supreme Court has power to hear cases and passes judgment on both the civil and criminal cases. Sometimes, some cases are filed in the Supreme Court directly for the first time. This is because these cases can be decided only by the Supreme Court. The High Court is the highest court in a state. According to our constitution, each of our 28 states in our country have High Court. And we have subordinate courts. Subordinate courts, there are a number of other judicial courts to administer justice besides High Court. So these courts are known as subordinate courts. They function under the complete control and supervision of the High Court. Discuss about the High Court. The High Court is the highest court in a state. There are some High Courts which have jurisdiction over 2 or more states. Like Supreme Court, every High Court has a Chief Justice and many other judges. All of them are appointed by the President. The Chief Justice is appointed by the President after consulting the Chief Justice of India and Governor of the state concerned. The other judges are appointed by the President after consulting the Chief Justice of India and the Chief Justice and Governor of the state concerned. The number of judges a High Court has depends on the population of the state. This means the number of judges in a High Court differs from one state to another, and there is a eligibility criteria to become a judge of the High Court. Means he must be an Indian citizen, he must have held a judicial office in Indian territory for at least 10 years, he must have been an advocate of High Court or of 2 or more such courts in succession for at least 10 years. And the High Court hears cases and passes judgments on civil and criminal cases. It can hear the cases brought to them for the first time regarding the fundamental rights of the citizen. It can give judgments on the petitions related to election. They entertain petitions made against the judgments given in the subordinate courts. They have the power to review and change the judgments of the subordinate courts. They control and supervise the functioning of the subordinate courts. They keep a record of their subordinate court proceedings and judgments. These records serve as reference for the subordinate courts in future cases. In every state, besides the High Court, there are number of other judicial courts to administer justice. These courts are known as subordinate courts. Subordinate courts function under the complete control and supervision of the High Court. There are 3 types of court at the district level: civil courts, criminal courts and revenue courts. The civil courts, first of all we will deal with civil courts. The court of a district judge is the highest civil court in a district. It exercises both judicial and administrative power. It is located at the district headquarters and it tries both the civil and criminal cases. It supervises all the courts under it, like the courts of sub-judge, judge, additional sub-judge and municipal courts. Criminal courts. The courts which deal with criminal cases in a district are the courts of the district and session judge, additional sessions of the session judges, assistant session judges, courts of first class magistrate. The district and session judge can pass a legal sentence. However, a death sentence needs to be confirmed by the High Court. Third, we have revenue courts. Land revenue is an important source of income of the government. All revenue related cases are dealt with by the revenue courts. The Board of Revenue is at the apex of all revenue courts. It is followed by the Court of Commissioner. It is followed by the Court of Divisional Commissioner. The Court of Divisional Commissioner is followed by the Court of Deputy Commissioner. The Court of Deputy Commissioner is followed by the courts of Tahsildar and Nayab Tahsildar. Since a long time, the Gram Panchayat has been the basic institution of democracy in India. At the village level, there are small law courts to deliver justice. These are called Nyay Panchayats. Generally, 3 to 4 villages together have a Nyay Panchayat. Nyay Panchayats deal with both civil and criminal cases. They try petty cases like minor thefts, personal disputes and can impose fine. Appeals can be made in higher courts against the judgments of the Nyay Panchayats. Let's discuss about Lok Adalats. It takes lot of time and money for a case to reach its logical conclusion. In other words, the legal process in our country is time consuming and expensive. It is almost impossible for a poor person to file a case in the court. So, the Lok Adalats were set up. The first Lok Adalat was set up in Delhi in 1985. The Lok Adalats aim at providing speedy justice to the people, and that too at a very low cost. These courts are specially helpful to the poor. Notably, the retired judges preside over them. They hear both the parties and pass judgments. No one should be denied of justice. Our constitution tries to ensure this by providing free legal aid to all the weaker sections of the society like scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, women, children, poor people, mentally and physically challenged people. So, my dear children, This was about our chapter number 3 of civics, so judiciary. So what you are supposed to do, please go through this lesson, at least give 2 readings to this lesson line by line, and learn the things given in page number 161 in the points to remember. Thank you, class.